Hello and welcome to a Should You Buy for the Cyclops. Now, we're going to go through the mech, its stats, its hard points, its potential pod space, which is a little different because it's a battle mech, and any hardpoint locations based on its concept art, and possible hitboxes based on the concept art that are overall conclusions. So, starting off, go down, look at the packs, very standard way they've distributed it. Standard pack for $20, which includes the A, Q, and Z. And the collector's pack for $40, which includes those three, plus a special of the A, which gives you 30% extra C-bills. Mech bays, premium time, items, titles, badges, all that jazz. Now, there's also hero and reinforcement add-ons, and we're going to look at those and see if those are specifically pay to win or anything like that, comparatively to the standard variants. We've got the S and the ADC and the P. Now, going down, we're going to take a look at its base stats here, and then we're going to go over to Spreadsheet Warrior and look at the potential pod space that it's going to have available. It's a 90-ton IS Salt Battle Mech, 360 standard engine it comes with, gives it to 64.8 with a max rating of 400. Now, let's go into Spreadsheet Warrior. These are the base stats that are for the different variants. Now, the thing is with Omnimechs, I can tell you exactly an Omnimech will have this many tons available, no matter what, because the engine is fixed and the upgrades are fixed. However, with a battle mech, you can change those stuff around. So really, instead of looking at what the mechs actually have, I'm going to look at this array of tests here that show you potentially what you could do with this mech. So it's 90 tons, and we're going to look at its speed here for a 300, 325, 350, and 375 rated engines. So the 300 gives it to 58 after tweak, 325 to just shy of 63, 350 to 67, and the 375 to 72, which is fairly quick for a assault mech at 90 tons. Now, typically, you're going to run endosteel and standard armor. Of course, there may be some builds where you can get ferro armor on there as well, but in terms of critical slots, you want to take endosteel over ferro, so that's what I've assumed here. Endo will give us 4.5 tons each, and the standard armor fully maxed out is 17.44. Of course, that can be shaved down a little bit off of legs or arms depending on your build. Now, for the 300 rating engine, we're going to have 43 tons of potential pod space. The 325, 37.5, the 350, 31.5, and the 375, 22.5. Now, we have also some XL options here. We'll look into how viable the mech will be for XL, greatly depending on its hitboxes. But for XL 325, we have 49 tons, XL 350, we have 46, and XL 375, we have 41.5. So, I'm going to feel that the mech is probably going to be a standard engine mech, and it's probably going to fall within the range of 325 to 350, somewhere in there. 37.5 tons to 31.5 tons in terms of its potential space that it can use for weapons. Now, if you wanted to run an XL engine, you can go all the way up to an XL 400. We can even put that in here. If we drop this down one more, change this to 400, and we can even get that sort of same range of potential pod space at 34.56 with a blistering speed of 77.4. So those are some of your options. Now, let's go back to the Cyclops here and look at its hardpoints. Now, we have to go through each variant individually because it's not an Omnimech. You can't change hardpoints. I'm going to put forward a couple builds that are potential for each one that I'm probably going to be trying out when I eventually get these mechs. Now, let's go through them one by one. The 11A to start with. This is also the one that becomes the plus 30% bonus C-bill variant if you get the collector's pack. We have 3 energy in total, 1 in the left arm, 2 in the right arm. 3 missile in total, 2 in the left torso and 1 in the center, and 3 ballistic, so nice 3-3-3. Now, it has enough missile hard points. I always like to say 3 or more and you're good to go in terms of SRMs. So we could definitely do an SRM build on this thing. So SRM 4s, SRM 6s without Artemis, because one of the missiles is in the center torso. That means you can't have a SRM 6 with Artemis because it's just too large. One extra crit slot means it won't fit. But you could do SRM 4s with Artemis or SRM 6s without. Or you could even do like a combination of 2 SRM 6s with Artemis and an SRM 4 with Artemis. Your choice, but that'll be your limitation for that center torso missile. Things I can see on this build is definitely some splat, some 3 SRM 6s, an AC-20, 3 medium lasers, get in there, brawl. And it's going to be fairly good at that. Also, because we have the 3 ballistics, we could go 3 normal AC-5s, not ultras, because that would be too many crit slots. 3 AC-5s, some large lasers with the energy hardpoints, just gloss over the missiles, and it would be a good energy and ballistic build as well. So there's some good stuff here. Of course, you can also run missiles, but I'm typically not a missile player, and IS missiles comparatively to clan missiles, because of the clan missiles' reduced weight, is iffy sometimes for me to recommend to take IS missiles. So Alpha, definitely some good short-range volley builds or an energy and ballistic standoffy kind of build. Now the Q here has all of the missile hardpoints and 3 energies. So 7 missile, 3 energy. This thing is going to be absolutely amazing as a short-range brawler. Get a whole bunch of SRM 4s or SRM 6s, probably SRM 4s with Artemis, and say 3 medium lasers, get in there, and you'll just rip people in half, and it'll be amazing. Plus, you could also do a LRM build on this one if you wanted to. It would probably be the variant you want to do as LRMs on, because you could do 7 LRM 5s, and you could chain fire those, and you could just rock somebody's cockpit so that they have no concept of what's going on. It'd be like having a catapult A strapped to your back, as well as an additional missile and 3 energy. It'll be fun. So 2 builds there, an LRM harasser or a short range SRM, just assassin, just so much damage, nice up and close. Now the Z or Z, depending on what part of the country you're in, will be our energy and ballistic variant of the standard package. We only got 2 missile hardpoints, so that's definitely not something you're going to be running SRMs or LRMs with, specifically because one is in the center torso and is critical slot locked. But we do have 3 energies in each arm for a total of 6 and a ballistic in the right torso. I definitely see this thing either going sort of the way of the boar's head with, say, 6 medium lasers or 6 medium pulse and an AC-20, or large pulse, large lasers, and a Gauss rifle in the right torso. So either that sort of longer range energy ballistic build or more of a shorter range energy and ballistic build. Basically how it's going to be, because it's so limited on missile and ballistic hardpoints, you're going to have to focus on your energy weapons for this one. Now, moving into the reinforcement pack and the hero, we're going to have to look at these and say, are they more powerful than the standard variants, and is that a problem, depending on what they are. For the ADC, we have basically a slightly more efficient version of the A. We have the same 1 minus for the energy. We have 1 energy in each arm, where this has 2 energy in the right, but we have an additional missile and 1 less ballistic. Now, how does that affect our builds on it? It's going to be slightly better at the short range with the SRMs, because it has that additional missile hardpoint, and it's not one that is critical slot locked in the center torso, it's in the left torso, so you can get 3 SRM 6s with Artemis and an SRM 4 in the center with Artemis. It's going to be, it's just going to be slightly better at the brawl, just ever so more efficiently. It's going to feel like a Kodiak Spirit Bear or an Atlas S in that sense, with most likely what I would run on this thing is an AC-20, a bunch of missiles, and strip the arms, screw them, who needs them, get more ammo for my SRMs and AC-20, pack it all in, max out armor everywhere else except those arms, and charge into battle and just wreck face. Also, you could do you could do LRMs on this thing, but again, the Q is most likely going to be more efficient at doing LRMs than this one. So slightly better at that short range brawler than the A, but It's not terribly better, it's just that slight bit more efficiency. So it's a little bit stronger, but nothing that I feel is bad enough to call pay to win. Next we have the P, and this is one that has the first piece of unique equipment with an ECM. Now this is kind of important. I would have liked to see the P and maybe the Z reversed. I would have liked to have seen this in the standard package, that way the standard package could get ECM. It's slightly annoying that you'd have to pay an additional $15 in order to access the ECM for this mech, but ECM is good, but you can achieve like 90% of what ECM is there for with radar deprivation, and that's breaking contact, breaking line of sight, and dodging incoming LRMs. So it's unfortunate that it's in the pay more package, but it's not too terribly crazy. But next, let's look at the hardpoints. We got 2 energy in each arm, so there's more in the Z's, we have to worry about that. We got 2 missiles, so it's definitely not going to be a short-range missile mech, but it's got 2 ballistic. So 4 energy, 2 ballistic is its main focus for its hardpoints and its weapons. It could do a short-range build because you have the 2 ballistics. Maybe you can fit on 2 LB10s or 2 Ultra 5s and some large lasers, maybe 3 large lasers, 3 large pulse or something along those lines with the 4 energy hardpoints in the arms. So there's going to be energy ballistic standoffy type builds, or you could probably make it into some short-range brawl build with 2 LB10s and like 4 medium pulse or something along those lines in a nice big standard engine. So, strong in the sense that it has ECM, and it's not going to be bad, of course, but the Z kind of does what it does, so it's not terribly better. It's about the same, a side grade, for sure. But last but not least is the hero, and this is where it gets a little bit interesting, because it's the only one with the energy hardpoint in the head, and oh god, if it does not come out of that head spot there will be riots. And it is the only one with ballistics in both side torsos. Now this is big, because this basically makes this Cyclops hero into a Mauler, because the Mauler is known for having their side torso ballistics, and it's the exact same weight, so basically any build you can do on a Mauler you can probably do on the hero, which is nice. Now, does it make it pay to win comparatively to its base variants and anything else that's in the game? Not really. I mean, comparatively to me, some other things, such as the A, which has 3 ballistic, but they're all in 1 side torso, meaning that it's limited to only taking 3 of AC5s or AC2s if it wanted to do that, not even 3 Ultra 5s because it wouldn't fit inside. This thing can do 2 20s, 2 Gauss rifles, 2 10s, 4 LB10s, 4 Ultra 5s, 4 normal 5s, 4 2s. You can do all of the combination of ballistics. It's only got 1 missile hardpoint, so this thing's not even going to touch its missile hardpoint, and then it's got 4 energy, 3 in the arm, and then 1 in the head. So I can definitely see this thing as a multiple roles. You're either going to have the longer range Ultra 5s, and you're going to be docking out at a distance, so like 500, 600 meters, or you're going to throw on not Ultra 20s, that's the Zaya, so normal AC 20s with some medium lasers, and we're just going to get in there and we're just going to derp some people in the faces with them. So yeah, but really you could buy a Mauler and do all those same things, so it's not like the hero is going to be like ultra OP comparatively to any mech that's already in the game, but it is slightly more efficient in doing those ballistic energy builds comparatively to the other Cyclops that will be introduced. You know, they want the heroes to do something unique, which is the side torso ballistics, but it's not like unique in terms of the game, because you need a Mauler and do the same thing, and it's not going to be that overpowered. It'll be unfortunate that at least one of the other Cyclops didn't have a side torso ballistic, just one. And then, you know, in the left torso, So then you could be like, hey, you know, you can do I'll do dual 20s on that as well. And it wouldn't be, you know, that's completely unique. But hey, it's not going to be that crazy. It's more of a side grade. We're going to go back up and we're going to look at its potential hardpoint locations and hitboxes as I continue to ramble. Now, you can see the ballistic hardpoint here, the missile hardpoint in the center, and the missiles in the side. And I'm thinking those are energies. Maybe there's an energy in the arm here. So unfortunately, it looks like we're going to have to clear a whole bunch of our mech in order to fire comparatively to some other ones. We're going to have to, with these arms, if they were swung up forward, we're most likely going to have to clear a whole torso in order to get those on target, which is unfortunate because we can see here we have kind of these protruding shoulders that kind of feel like they're going to be able to be targeted and they'll be easy to pick off. Now there is a question of whether or not this side of the center torso will be considered center or side torso. Because if it's considered center torso, maybe an XL would actually work on this thing because that's a big old center torso. And you can use it to shield your potential side. As you see, you can't really see the Cyclops right here because if it's jutting out CT. But if that's side in this section right here, it's going to be very deadly to take an XL engine because you can shield with it. However, it'll be very useful to take a standard engine on that design because you can use that side torso to shield your center, and even after it's destroyed, you can use the damage transfer properties that only let a certain percentage of the damage through a destroyed section, so you can tank an incredible amount of damage. So yeah, a little bit down on the hardpoint locations, considering they're kind of mid-torso or low-torso, but it could be pretty tanky. And hopefully the head hitbox is not too crazy large because it looks really inviting to shoot there. So overall, I'd have to say the Cyclops, if you're into IS assaults, is worth a purchase. It's going to be a fine mech. There are mechs in the game that do what it does, but if you want to get a nice, good IS assault, you can't go bad with this. Specifically the hero. If you wanted a hero variant of the Mauler, but aren't waiting around for a hero variant of the Mauler, the hero Cyclops here will be able to do that for you with the 4 side torso ballistics. But that'll be it for me for the should you buy the Cyclops. A little bit long on the video, but a lot to explain because we had to go through each of the variants individually instead of looking at the whole thing in general. And thanks for watching, and good hunting.